Chapter 10 continued. I let your snakes go. She turns her head. She's still got her headlamp on, and the bright light hurts his eyes. He can barely make out the details of her mouth and eyes and nose. She's looking right at him. He holds his breath, wondering what she'll say. "Oh," she says. Ben shuts his eyes to keep out the light. "It was an accident. I didn't mean to. I was curious, but I shouldn't have messed with the cage. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry if they got out and died. I didn't mean for it to happen." She doesn't speak, and then he feels her hand on his shoulder. "It's all right, Ben," she says. "I'm sorry too. But thank you for telling me." The relief is tremendous. He doesn't know why, but he begins to cry. Great sobs come up from deep inside of him, catching him totally off guard. Miss Tibbets switches off her headlamp light and puts an arm around him. They stand there awkwardly by the side of the pool. The rain splats against their raincoats. Ben's body heaves up and down, and he can't make it stop. "I'm sorry." Ben takes a deep breath and lets his sobs subside. "I'm sorry," he repeats over and over. "I'm sorry." "Of course you are," his teacher says over the sound of the rain. "Anyway, it doesn't really matter about the snakes now." She pauses, and then she says, "Maybe they'll find a new home somewhere else." Wiping his face, Ben looks up at her. At first he thinks it's the rain, but then he sees there are tears on her cheeks too. "Why are you crying?" "Oh, I'm sorry too." "For me?" "Yes, for you. And for all this." She sweeps her arms in a semicircle, gesturing to everything around her. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," she says. "No, really. What are you sorry about?" She shakes her head again. "Does it have anything to do with what your sister-in-law said the other day?" She doesn't answer. "What's happening? Is it something about your home?" "In a way." "Why? How?" "It's very complicated, Ben." "Tell me, please," Ben says. He really wants to know. For a moment, for just a second, he doesn't see Miss Tibbets as a teacher. It's like he's looking at her through a magical pair of binoculars that shows who someone really is, not how they fit in his own little model of the world. Miss Tibbets sniffs and laughs again, wiping the rain and tears from her cheek with the back of her hand. "Well, fair is fair. You told me your secret. I'll tell you mine. But let's do it inside over something warm. I love these toads, but I am certainly not one of them." She turns away from the pool and heads down the trail toward the house. The whole way back, Ben listens to the toads calling out, "We're here! We're alive! We're here!"